Thank you. Thank you very much for the applause. It's too much for me. Thank you very much. Hey, it's Sunday night for me, and so I decided I was going to do the whole thing front and back, but I'm just doing for the front what you need. According to our schedule, today you're supposed to be working on worksheet XI, both sides, and then you have just the one page of the note worksheet. So this PowerPoint is only of the first side of the note worksheet. Then you'll have the, I'll probably finish by Monday night, have the other one on there. So for some of you guys that want to work ahead, you'll actually be able to do it in the evening. If everything goes as planned, that is. So here we go. We're just doing this one side. This is Note Worksheet II over Hitler. Note Worksheet II over Hitler, 1 to 30 is all we're going to do. So we ended off talking about hyperinflation and how everything just went crazy as it got worse and worse. And Hitler was able to capitalize on this, so it is part of the Hitler history. There it is. Hitler led 2,000 armed brown shirts attempt to take over the Bavarian government. So this is when it's still the radical Hitler, and pretty soon he tries to do it legally. I should have the year here because I don't remember what year we're on. Hopefully I have it here. The army stopped the revolt. By the way, this was number 1. And did they succeed? No. They didn't succeed because they said the army stopped it. That means he didn't succeed. Hitler was arrested and imprisoned at Langsberg to receive a 5-year sentence. So the other question was, what happened to Hitler? Hitler was arrested. That's number 2, the second half. Hitler was arrested. And then, number 4, what, no, I don't have that. How about that? I cut this one out, the 5-year sentence. He served only 9 months of his 5-year sentence. While in prison, he wrote the first volume of Mein Kampf. So, that famous book of his was written while he was in prison. So that's the answer for number 4. Oh, no, I was right. Number 3, how many years was he sentenced? 5 years. And how many did he serve? 9. Okay, oh, sorry, I skipped 3. There's 3 right there. This is number 4. All right, pause it if you need it. We're going to keep going. We're on number 5. Were the things that he wrote the plain truth? It was partly an autobiography book, although filled with glorified inaccuracies, self-serving half-truths, and downright revisionism, which also detailed his views on the future of the German people. And so, no, it wasn't the plain truth. He was exaggerating. This is a nice way of saying he kind of exaggerated. Number 6, what does the title of this book mean in English? I think we already had this. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right. It is My Struggle. This is the second time we have this, I think. I could be wrong. And number 7 in his book, who is responsible for all the problems and evil in the world? Grace. That's right. It's the good old reliable Jews. Oh, where are they? There we are. The Jews are responsible for everything. Everything is bad, it's the Jews. Okay? That should be a no-brainer. I think we circle that question because everybody gets it right. Number 7, in this book, that's Jews. And 8, who did Hitler say was the Germans' nation's true enemy? Number 8, of course, it's the Jews are the real enemies, okay? So right now, if he lived in modern times, he'd say and he'd probably have facts to back it up. Well, facts to back it up, kind of like the media today. And they would say the Jews were responsible for the virus. You know, and they'd have the news would be all over it, you know. But they're not after the Jews, okay? They're too busy after Trump. So anyway, he was blaming the Jews. He said to maintain that purity, it was necessary to avoid intermarriage with subhuman races such as Jews and Slavs. So I asked, name 2 groups. This is number 10. Number 9. Who was the good German not supposed to marry? And that was Jews and Slavs. The other question, number 10, the two groups that are subhuman, same answer. Jews and Slavs are subhuman. Okay, so they don't share human rights because they're subhuman. A baby in the womb is a subhuman. They have no rights, so we can legally kill them. They are subhuman. They don't use that term because it's politically incorrect, okay? But that's basically it. Germany would stop the Jews from conquering the world only by eliminating them. And when did he write these words? 1924. 9 years before they voted him in, he said, I know how to solve the problem, eliminating them. Isn't he a nice guy? Number 11. How should Germany stop the Jews from conquering the world? Eliminating them. Okay? Which he made a very good attempt to. And number 11. How should the Germans stop the Jews from... Oh, that's it. Number 12. When did he publish the second edition of Mein Kampf? That was in 1927. It included a history of the Nazi Party, which again, he would not call it the Nazi Party. He would call it the NSDAP, National Socialist Germans Workers Party, okay? In that time in his program. So now he's getting more serious about how we're going to do this. And number 13, after prison, what was Hitler's new plan? Once released from prison, Hitler decided a new plan to seize power constitutionally rather than by force. Okay, his revolt didn't work to do it by force, unlike his hero Lenin, but this, he was going to do it legally, in other words. We're going to take over the country legally. And you know something? And a lot of commentators bring this up. He did do it legally. So it worries because any country can become a dictatorship. Number 14, what percentage of population did Hitler receive in the 1930s election? Now I think he started in 27 working towards the election of 1930. And in 1930, thank you for asking that. Oh, if you didn't get that last one down here, I want you to pause it. Pause? Okay. Here we go. In November 1928, public speech of Hitler in Berlin. Anyway, that's not important. Hitler's, again, National Socialist German Workers' Party captured 18% of the popular vote in the 1930 election. So he's moving up. He's got 18%. And 15, what office did he run for in 1932? He ran for president and won 30% of the vote. It wasn't 50%. You're going to say 30%. In our country, you lose bad if all you get is 30%. But I think they had more parties, and we're not used to that. We have a two-party system. If you have 3 or 4 parties, 30% is actually pretty good. And what percentage of the vote did he get in 32? I already said that, 30%. That's not it's not underlined. Number 16, what position did Hitler get for Paul von Hindenburg's political support? He got the chancellor. So what he did is he made a political deal. He said, look, we won't have a runoff election. You just put me second in charge, okay? So we have a vice president and a chancellor. So, okay, so that meant that, what's his name? Paul von Hindenburg, he was president, and Hitler was like vice president, chancellor. And exact date that Hitler was appointed chancellor is January 30th, 1933 is the exact date. This is underlined. Shouldn't take that long to do it. Hitler was appointed Reich Chancellor. Only 2 other Nazis, again he wouldn't have called it that, besides Hitler in the National Conservative government, Hermann Göring and Wilhelm Frick. So this isn't his government. This is the name of this guy's government. It was the National Conservative government, because Hitler's government is the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Okay? So anyway, we're going to pause it if you need it. These are all one-word answers, and then we're moving on. The Enabling Act. In March of 1933, Hitler, I don't know how he did this in 3 months, Hitler got the other parties to vote in the Enabling Act, giving Hitler's government comprehensive legislative power. In other words, the Enabling Act gave Hitler and his party lots of power. Basically, after that hit, he was on his way on really being a #1 dictator. He really is a dictator now, but he still has a little bit more power to get. So that's number 18, which is in the Enabling Act. And number 19, what was voted on March, and that's in the Enabling Act. You know, I didn't give you as much room, I didn't give you that much room on 18 because I ran out of power. But 19, I gave you lots of room to put Enabling Act. So those of you that write big, you should be happy. For at least 19, you can do it. So 18 and 19 are the same thing. And hopefully you already figured that out. Now number 20, the exact date Hitler got complete control of the SS, the secret police, was a year later, 1934, July 20th. He became directly responsible for the Secret Service. Okay? And by August, which would be the next month, 1934, the death of the Reich President von Hindenburg, Hitler combined the office of President and Chancellor and became the Führer and Reich Chancellor. So most of you guys from movies know they called him the Führer. But I don't know if I had here what Führer means. Number 21 was what two were combined? President and Chancellor. That's 21. 22 said what was his new title? It was Führer and Reich Chancellor. And the other half said what year? And that would be 1934. There it is, number 23. What does Führer mean? A lot of people don't know what that means. And it means, look at that. I put the question there. Yeah. It means leader. So if Führer says, or Hitler says, I don't want to go by president, that's too democracy, or emperor, although I like it. How about leader? Just call me leader. And so we call him the Führer. The leader is what they were calling him. And that's what they called him, the leader. And number 24, when did Hitler begin to industrialize for war? Look, 1936. I think that's pretty amazing, 1936, how much he built it in that short time. The German industrial machine was built up in preparation for war. So Hitler said, we're going to war, people. And the other countries said, no, we're not going to war. We're into peace, okay? We're not going to go into war. So Hitler was just able to just build up his army way ahead of everybody else. And number 24, when did Hitler begin his, already did that, that was 1936. 25, when did Hitler become the supreme commander of the army? This is when he really has power. And that was 1938, February 4th. Hitler discharged military leaders and took over the supreme command over the, whatever that word is, which means the army. Some of you guys are better pronouncing German than I am, but it means the army. The date was July 38th, and write down that date. You're going to see that's important. February 4th. Think about that. Think about this date. 1938, February 4th. Hitler is the supreme commander over the army. He doesn't have to talk to generals and get their permission. He gives the word and it happens. So the next question, interesting enough, 26. When did Lucia see the mysterious light to show that a worse war was coming? And she saw that July 25th, 1938. Oh, excuse me, I said July, didn't I? Sorry. January 25th, 1938. So she sees the mysterious lights in January 25th, and what would that be? 5, 9, 10 days later, Hitler is Supreme Commander of the Army. So write down this date the second time you have it, January 25th, 1938. So, number 27, what two countries did Hitler annex very shortly? We're getting close to the end, people. By the way, if you didn't get that, pause it. Just back up. Did Hitler order the annexation of Austria and the Sudetenland? Which I don't know where that's at. I need a map right here. Sorry about that. Anyway, these are the two countries that he annexed, meaning that he took them over. In my understanding is Austria actually voted to let him take them over because their economy was in trouble. They go, look, Hitler really got a booming economy in a very short period of time over there in Germany. We want a piece of the action. So, you know, they asked for it. And in September 1939, sparking France and England, he invaded Poland, I'm sorry. It says, who did he invade in 1938? Poland. Okay, got that, Poland. And what two countries joined in the fight against Germany? France and England were on the side of Poland. So France, or England here, is a powerhouse. France is too. England is probably more of a superpower than we are at this time. And they declare war on Germany. So now we just at the beginning of World War I. And number 29, Hitler's speech at Reichstag. What did he predict? In 1938, October 21st, Hitler gives a directive to prepare for the destruction of the remainder of the Czechoslovakian state. And in 1939, January 30th, the speech at the Reichstag, Hitler predicts the annihilation of the Jewish race in Europe in case of another world war. So the war's already started, and Hitler's going to make sure we don't have another world war because he's going to get rid of the Jews. So there's a long blank there. You might have to pause this. I don't know if the next one is here or not, but that's number 29. What did he predict? The annihilation of the Jewish race, 1939. So I want you to pause this if you need it. I'm going to go to number 30. The exact date Hitler attacked Poland and the official beginning of World War II is right there. It's also right here if you're paying attention. 1939, September 1st. That is the official start of World War II. Obviously, it took us 2 years before we got involved, the United States, but Germany starts the war when they invaded Poland. So I'm going to stop the video right there. Depending on what time you see this, the other one might already be out. Who knows? But this is all you need. Is just the front side that's due today. Most of the time is going to be working on the worksheet, which is from the book. Okay? So you got enough homework to do, so we're going to lay it at that. And thank you again. Thank you for the applause. That's a wonderful applause. And we'll see you later. Adios.